environmental has always been my passion. I grew up with Ranger Rick and, give a hoot, don't pollute. I have a sticker actually over there that says it, but I just grew up I grew up living in the country, and environmental's just always been a passion of mine to protect the environment. Growing up, acid rain was a big thing. The ozone layer was a big thing. The rainforests were a big thing. And so you start following organizations that are, you think, working to fix things. And usually those organizations are also fighting mining. And so if you don't live around mining, you don't understand mining. And so it gets in your head that mining's bad. And I don't remember anyone ever telling me that my world was built for mining. And I was working for NTS as a consultant, and it was working for them as a consultant for the projects and for the mining companies, where I was like, okay, wait, what I'm doing every day is not lining up with the emails I'm getting from the organizations trying to stop this. Like, my real lived life at the mines isn't what I'm hearing is supposed to be what's happening.
Please help us welcome Matt and Julie Lucas to the face.
Warning, explicit content. This material may not be suitable for children. Listener discretion is advised.
Find a way, gotta be willing to go put in some elbow grease, cause you know nothing that you get in this life comes free. Gotta work all day.
Hello, miners. Hello, podcast listeners. Welcome into Mining Minds. Welcome into Julie and Matt Lucas's house. We're hanging out here. I got to thank you guys for having us over. This is such a cool experience. So thank you guys.
Yes.
Welcome to our home.
Yes.
Thanks for coming.
So, Julie, first of all, phenomenal week. I know Dino's reached out, and you guys kind of set this up, and kind of what's came to fruition this week has been because of your and Dino's conversation. And then in that, you guys have heard the podcast that came before this, but we've got to meet people like yourself, and I would say meet, but I mean like truly develop friendships. And then we get to meet your husband. Yeah. I'm just gonna say stud. I don't want to throw it out there. But appreciate it, man. Like, you guys are the salt of the earth type of people. So I want to say thank you without trying to be overly. I don't know. We appreciate it. Don't cry. Dino and I. Well, we've talked about it each night, man. Like, man, we're so grateful, and it's not idle words. We're thankful for you guys. Matt, you're part of this too. We thank you guys.
Yeah, you guys invite us into your home, and not just the state, but really into your home.
Yeah, our literal home.
Yeah.
This is the first time a podcast has been recorded in my house.
Her cat's pissing on my bags. I'm just joking.
He's very curious, though, so we're going to make sure we have him in our hands before you leave.
I will say this though, we don't take it lightly. We come from a very close knit family that if somebody brings one of their friends into our family, we know what it means. So thank you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. But to start out, I want to talk about maybe Matt a little bit, and Julie, we got to hang out with you, but I want to end and talk about kind of the whole week a little bit. So Matt, let's talk. Where were you born? Where were you raised? Talk to us a little bit about that.
I was born in Hibbing, and I was raised about 200 yards from where we're sitting right now.
So only 94
you moved
yards,
around a lot, is what you
Yeah.
said.
Yeah. Well, I did leave the area for a while, but I came back.
Okay, so Hibbing or Chisholm?
Which is better?
I'm going to have to say Hibbing, or someone over there might hurt me.
Just remember, your parents are from Chisholm.
I know, that's why I said.
Oh, so there's some blood there.
It's all right. You be 50-50. Like, hey, there's a lot of love up here.
Yeah. So Hibbing, you went to the Hibbing High School.
Yes, I did.
How was going to high school there?
It was just like going to high school, I guess.
Did you realize like the high school that you were going to?
At that time, it didn't really.
Can I tour you around my high school? Listen, we were on the national news 3 times. One kid stole a bus with a samurai sword. So I'm just saying it's different, but we're not the same. You guys have some cool stuff going on.
It is
here.
a nice school, yeah.
Yeah. So growing up, did you play any sports? Did you do anything?
I was a swimmer, and then I raced downhill skiing.
Really?
Yep.
Swimmer. So you guys right here on the lake, do you take advantage of that now?
Not too much anymore.
No? Dude, swimming's a cool, like, I love swimming.
It's probably the best workout you can get for sure. But as far as competitive swimming, I don't know if I could do that, man. I mean, you got to have some serious endurance.
I couldn't anymore.
So they say back in the day that guys just didn't have suits to swim in.
I'm not that old.
Partake in that? I'm just
I'm not
curious.
that old.
Well, listen, some people keep traditions going, man.
Singlets.
So you were in high school. What'd your folks do? What'd your parents do?
I was a teacher. My old man owned his own business,
Your old man. So what kind of business?
environmental.
Okay.
Worked in the mines and for the mines and stuff.
Out of high school, did you go to college? Did you follow in his?
I went to work for him.
Did you?
Yeah.
How was that?
It was good. Was there almost 18 years.
Really?
Dang.
18 years? I don't know that I could hang with this guy for 18 years, let alone my dad.
But you said your dad was an environmental consultant?
Yeah.
Okay. And so at that point, he probably had to go to school or
He's an engineer.
okay. So
So you better say he's an engineer or else he'll hear this and yell at you.
Yeah, he will. He's an engineer.
well, at the end of the day, you must have learned. I mean, you had to have been learning across the whole program if he took you on right out of high school with no degree, but you were out there working for him,
Yep.
right? So
How was it working for your dad?
It was a lot of fun.
I can imagine what it'd be like to work for dad.
Well, and the reason I ask is, I got my boys kind of involved with what we're doing here. And I would say, hey, my dad hat's on now, my boss hat's on. And really what I want to give them is the experience. So how was it working with your dad?
I enjoyed it. It was a good time. Yeah.
Did he,
If you worked with him for 18 years, I mean, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd like to maybe walk into what did you do after
Work or
after working for your dad?
I went into work in the mines.
Okay. So doing the same thing or?
No, and I drove haul truck when I first started out there.
Okay. You just wanted to change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I went and done to the operation side in the pellet plant, making the actual pellets.
Okay. So you started to become part of the process.
Yeah. And now I run a forklift,
cool.
unloading vendors and stuff.
Okay. So you're still at the mines then?
Yep.
How many years you been there?
10.
Okay.
On the processing side of it or on the operation side? I guess what did you, I know we mix words, but
It's hard because it's a union. The union has got so is it the operators union or is
No,
it?
we're steelworkers union.
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
But you're essentially working in the logistics or the warehouse supply chain side of things.
Now I am, yeah.
Yeah. And so how did you get into that or how did you find out about that?
Just through postings, other jobs that were out there. I just kept moving around.
So you post or somebody posted and you're like, hey, I'm gonna give this a shot. And what do you think? Do you like it? Do you not? I mean,
I think it's a great job out there.
yeah, dude, there's so many jobs and the warehouse is actually where we would normally sell our swag or whatever else, but it's a very forgotten, the supply chain is kind of a forgotten area that not a lot of people talk about. It's like, we've talked to Amanda Christensen and people like that there's so many intricacies about that position or those positions that you don't understand, like how it affects the overall mine site. Do you have that critical spare on site? Where is it coming from? Who's getting it to me? How are we offloading and loading all this stuff? We have a huge warehousing, I guess, district, I would say, in Nevada, and those guys are buzzing around all day. But do you think that anybody probably stops and shakes their hand or, you know what I mean, talks to them?
No.
It's, I guess my point is there's some forgotten roles out there that are crucial to what we do. And it sounds like you get to fill some of those.
Mm-hmm.
Sponsoring this episode of the podcast, our good business parts at Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals. When the ground is tough and the clock is ticking, you need more than just equipment. You need a partner who lives and breathes heavy-duty performance. That's Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals. From dozers and haul trucks to loaders and excavators, HME has the equipment to keep your operation charging forward. But it's not just about the iron, it's about the commitment to safety, reliability, and to getting the right machine at the right time. That's why they offer both short-term rentals for immediate jobs and long-term rentals to preserve capital and manage your budget. And if renting isn't the answer, they've got you covered with equipment sales, financing, fleet appraisals, and big job repair contracts. So when your project demands a partner, precision, and relentless support, contact the team at Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals. Click the links on the episode notes and find out more.
I got a question for you though. Like, do you deal with any like hot shots or anything like that? Is that a thing out here? I mean, are you guys hot shotting a bunch of stuff or is that pretty, is it not heard of that much?
Well, we get hot shots that come in with certain parts on them.
Okay.
Time out. What's a hot shot?
So if they're doing a PM or there's a critical down at the mine and the mine doesn't have that part or piece on the site, the maintenance group will call out a hot shot, which is just an extra, extra charge, I would say, from,
It's a planning misfunction.
An unplanned.
That never
An
happens.
unplanned charge that, how do you say, is very expensive because they need it.
Gotcha.
Well, so in Northern Nevada, what that looks like is, hey, bro, I know you're coming out to site today. Can you swing this out? We have equipment down, and like, yeah, but I'll come out there and bring it to you. I'm heading out that way anyway. So, but to your point, Dino, so how does that look on the, I guess, the union side? I mean, you guys are pretty locked in on what you need, where you're at, what's going on. So if somebody makes a mistake and needs a hot shot, it is what it is, or is there some backlash?
It is what it is. They get the part however they need it.
Well, and I guess in all of this, is there a lot of hotshot companies up here? I mean, I imagine you guys are pretty on point because of how many things that you guys have checking, double checking, rechecking.
There's a few around. I don't know exactly how many, but most of the parts are on hand already.
Yeah, it's not a your hair on fire type thing, which I imagine what we do.
Yeah. Do you see yourselves being out the mine for the rest of your career? Or?
That's the plan. Hopefully retire from there.
Got a couple more years and
probably about 8, 10 at most.
That's perfect. How old are you going to be in eight years? Because right now I'm looking at you going, hey, you've got to be 38, 40 years old.
I'll be 43 or 53. I'm sorry.
When he retires.
When I retire.
Perfect.
He just turned 45 last Friday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy late birthday.
Yeah. Okay. So I wasn't that far off. So retiring at 53, I'm looking at staring down 53, in a couple years, 5 years, 6 years, and there is no way that I'm thinking about retiring.
Well, this is a good question because I don't look at myself as retiring. Like I'm always going to be doing something. Like that's my personality. That doesn't mean, I'm curious, like, so when you say retire at 53, what does that mean for you?
Go do something for fun. Make a little money on the fun side of things.
You gonna start stripping again?
if I have to.
Hey, he's been working out. He's gonna start swimming again. Watch out, bro.
No, I was just curious because when people say retire, you're always like, what does that mean, right? I'm somewhat afraid to retire because I think that once you stop thinking, stop moving, stop doing something, it's like, what am I always say waiting to die type thing. But if you have something to do, I just was curious if you had anything like, I'm going to be the best. So you guys do, is it Fishing with Vets? Is that what it's called? So talk to us a little bit about that.
Fishing with Vets is a organization. We take veterans up fishing, about 200 a year, I think it is.
200 people?
200 vets a year, roughly.
No shit.
Yeah.
No.
That is cool. How did that start?
It started back in I believe the president just heard of a vet that wanted to go out fishing and didn't have the opportunity, so he made it happen. And it just progressed into an organization from there.
How cool. I'm just off a passion of wanting to help somebody out. I mean, you're taking somebody, you're helping them, how do you say, live their dreams.
Or get away for a little bit or experience. So let me ask this. How did that start for you? And I know Bob was in it too. Bob's over there making faces now. So I'm gonna,
this is usually him giving this part of it.
Yeah.
It started for me just because I had one friend that posted a thing on Facebook. So I'd send him a message, see if he needed any help.
And you were like, man, I'm going to go out and help these guys.
Yeah. And then he called me up and had me go help guy, and I've been helping him since.
And so now it's a routine thing. So how many years or what have you been?
I've been doing it about 4 years now, I think it is.
Volunteering your time, going, hey man, I'm in. Let's help. How freaking cool is that?
Do you ever, do any of these vets ever maybe open up a little bit and talk about, you know what I mean? I mean, for me, hearing that you guys do this, I guess what was going through my mind is, man, some of the conversations that you had that you probably have with some of these guys, number one, you're feeling crazy bad for them, or you're going, man, I can't believe that they went through that.
Yeah, no, they open up for a lot of them do.
That's good.
Tell some really good stories. And
do you think that they're telling you the stories more to maybe just get it off their chest and open up a little bit because they're in a safe space? Or
I think so.
That's badass.
That's at least it's the way it's felt for me.
That's cool.
So,
well, I mean, you're out in the boat, you're in a fish house, you're tucked away from the world, and it's just, I think, easier to just let your guard down and
kind of be vulnerable and have that conversation. So when we talk vets, what age do you think these vets are? Or not, do you think, what age veterans are you taking out?
Well, I think we've had them on the trips anywhere from 20s up to 90 plus.
Yeah. So what would you say the age range is more likely? Like, if that's the range, right? Is it younger guys, older guys?
Every trip is different.
Okay.
Some trips there's more younger, some there's older.
Well, I guess what I found, and Ben Powell, I'm going to give my shout out to my buddy. He always is keeping us like, hey man, can we do this for the vets? Or, you know what I mean? I think they're a lot younger than we think. I think we have this vision in our head that they are 90 years old and, 80 years old. And I think a lot of vets are actually a lot younger than people think. I think when we look around the table, this is what vets look like. It's our age group. It's not. And so those are the people that, I guess, from my perception and people I've talked to, it's kind of like mining. It's not the pickaxe, and it's not that, you know what I mean? It's us. It's who we are sitting here. So is that a fair statement to say?
Yeah.
Okay. How do people get a hold of you to do this? Or they just call you up? Or, I'm trying to blow up your phone. If you can give out your number.
There's Facebook. They're all the trips are posted on the Facebook page, Fishing with Vets, and then the website too, which I don't know off the top of my head.
It's a lottery system, correct?
Yeah, it's a lottery.
Oh,
they
really?
sign up and it's done by lottery.
And now is this for people all over the nation?
Anywhere, yep.
Really?
Anywhere in the country.
So when you say lottery system, what do you mean?
They all sign up, and then there's a program that just picks them.
Because
Like
they can't take everyone who signs up. So it's just fishingwithvets.org. And
Yeah.
And so if people,
I'll help you out here, honey.
But
Thanks. It was over there on that sheet.
I got you.
But if people, I guess, were wanting to help out like you are, right? They could take somebody out. Like Dino and I, if we had a boat or there was a place to fish.
Well, you have to have, first of all, you have to have an ice castle.
Not always. We use boats.
But these guys, you guys are doing it all up here. So people are traveling up here to
We do
fish.
some in South Dakota too.
Okay.
Wisconsin.
Okay.
Winnipeg.
Yeah, we went to Winnipeg last year.
I heard if you have a felony, you can't get to Canada.
It's tough, yeah. It's tough to get into Canada.
that was good, Grover. That was good.
Grover, you ain't never going, bud.
That's why they go like, hey man, you got your passport yet? Yeah, I've got my passport.
So it's fishingwithvets.org.
Yep.
And other people can get involved though. I guess my point is that if you hear this podcast and it's something you're interested, you can join to do it in Colorado or in Michigan.
You can get a hold. They have to get a hold of someone in our organization, and they can help you.
They can get a hold of you in the organization for it,
or even me. But I'm only field staff for them. But
no, fair enough. But I guess my point is through the website that you guys just mentioned, we can help more people out there.
Absolutely,
yeah.
And I think it's important too to call out that our mining companies up here have been really strong supporters and sponsors of the program because. The vets get to go and they aren't paying. All they need to do is get there.
Yep. All they need to get there.
And
we
after
cover
that,
everything else.
Lodging's covered, food's covered, all the things to fish, it's covered. And it's thanks to all the awesome sponsors.
They got to bring a fishing license and then get there. That's it.
Yeah. So what kind of fish are they catching?
We mainly go for walleye.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, and that's what we mentioned earlier. And keep in mind, we want to do what we can to help anybody that we can. But if we can help get people there, please reach out to us and let us know, like, hey, these guys need some help. Can you guys do it today? Maybe we can't, but maybe our network can. Maybe there's people in our network that can help out, right? So please let us know about that. I'm going to put you on blast on the actual podcast. So you know that it's been said.
That's actually a good thing, man. I mean, honestly, if we can give back and we can help, I think the conversations that you guys are able to have with these guys, like you said, when the world is just not there and it's just you guys, that's probably the biggest help that these guys can get.
Yeah.
And that's something that we definitely want to stand behind and help do, to where if we can help pay for somebody to come up and fish with you guys, and that's the jobs that you guys are doing, that's amazing, man.
Yeah. And I think our network's growing. So I think that even if you guys are out in Minnesota or out in this area, that people on the West Coast will absolutely support that. And we would like to support that too.
Yeah, we're a 501c3, so we fundraise all our own money. So
very cool, man.
So I got a question. I got my question before we got too much further, and I want to give you the opportunity before Julie gets in.
Oh boy!
So how did you meet Julie, and how did things transpire to where you guys have this amazing piece of property and amazing home together?
Well, we'll just say we worked together before.
Twice now.
Twice now, yeah.
So
Three times.
You just met her a couple times, and you
I know. I like how he's.
I'm going to let her explain in the way she wants it explained.
And just for the audience,
fair enough.
30 minutes ago, I couldn't. We couldn't stop having a conversation, and now you're a little bit nervous. Is what I'll say.
I'm going to let her talk about how.
I'm just giving you shit, man. I'm just giving you shit. But I do want to ask this: how did you propose?
Oh my gosh.
in the kitchen of our trailer house.
Cool. Did you have a plan, or were you just
He did have a plan. I wrecked it.
Well, yeah, I guess there was we'll leave it at the trailer house.
What do you mean leave it there? That's what I'm asking.
Sometimes you don't want to explain it, man. It's just the way it goes.
Hey, fair enough.
But we're going to hear from Julie, but I wanted to give that.
I'm going to let her describe
had
the way
your
she
opportunity,
wants to
brother.
describe it. Yeah.
That's not fair. Come on now.
No, you can describe it however you want to. I'm going to leave the details out.
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
But he did propose to me in the kitchen of our single wide trailer house that we lived in for 11 years.
Yep.
Well, obviously you said yes, but we'll get there in your story. So
yeah, when we're done, I'm just gonna. Mine didn't go smooth either, man. As planned, I guess is what we should say. So, sponsoring this episode of the podcast, our good friend Jimmy Ewing and Motor Mission Machine and Radiator. When your machine overheats, there's no downtime to waste, especially in mining. That's why Mining Minds recommends Motor Mission Machine and Radiator. Your go-to experts in industrial and heavy equipment radiator repair, engine and cylinder head rebuilding, and precision machine shop work. Founded in 1949 and serving the western United States for over 50 years, Motor Mission handles it all. Radiators and coolers from passenger vehicles to massive mining shovels and full machine shop services like honing, line boring, and crankshaft balancing. They'll pick it up, tear it down, clean it right, and test it on custom stands before it leaves their shop. The bottom line is, when you talk in best in class, that's Motor Mission Machine and Radiator. Big or small, they can do them all. But Julie, again, I'm going to say thank you. I mean,
Thank you.
You've been instrumental, you and Kristen and
Talia sitting over
Talia.
there in the corner.
I was just going to say Talia Hibbing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Grover's got his tattoo last night.
I did.
He got a whole blue jacket on the right cheek.
Yeah, that's right. But thank you guys for having us, first and foremost. And then secondly, walk us through your story. We've heard bits and pieces of it, but now I want to hopefully put that together.
It's a long story. I'm older than him. I'm older than almost all of you. Oh, that's right. We're tied.
Oh,
Right,
Dino's
yeah.
old as shit.
Dude, hey, I am, but I look way better than he does.
He does. Dino looks a lot better than me. He's the eye candy.
No.
Wow. I wouldn't even know where to
Where were you
start.
born?
I was born in Duluth. So I grew up 2 hours south of here I grew up in Duluth to start with, made it through first grade in Duluth. And then my parents moved down to a little town called Barnum, which is just south. You'll go past it on your way to the airport tomorrow. Then my parents got divorced and I lived with my grandparents and my brother for 3 years. Moved in with my dad after that, and then ended up moving with my mom. So I've done a bunch of bouncing around, but all within like a 5-mile range.
Okay.
So did not grow up on the Iron Range. Ida Rukavina, you met her yesterday. She said that I get to be an honorary ranger because I take a lot of blows for the range and get punched a lot talking about mining, just emotionally, not physically. So she said I get to qualify as a ranger, even though I wasn't born here. But
Hey, so Hibbing or Chisholm?
I love it. I love the answer carefully.
You know what?
And,
please don't answer that because I know.
Talia just perked up. She's like,
I am not going to face the wrath of Talia. Honestly, Virginia was my first.
Virginia.
Virginia was my first home. So Virginia is why it's funny saying this with Virginia having been person you interviewed. But the city of Virginia is why I live up here. And so I'm always going to have a soft spot for the city of Virginia because they are who first welcomed me up here.
That's very nice, but that wasn't an option.
Hey, but that was dude.
That's sincere. I'll let it slide this one time.
I can see a career in politics here. I can.
That's right.
Oh gosh, no.
No, that was a fair answer.
Who's got a nicer high school, Hibbing or Chisholm?
Okay, Hibbing's high school is
Okay.
insane.
Dude, it's-
Like
yeah.
math's just all casual. Yeah, it was all right. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, my high school's built in 1982 and is just like one level, and it clearly was built in 1982. There's just nothing.
My high school had mold. They shut us down for
My
mold.
elementary school had a big asbestos abatement program when I was a kid. But
Yeah.
so the Hibbing High School is absolutely insane. But I will say the Chisholm Auditorium is beautiful. But you can't compare, right? Size wise, one city is significantly larger.
Yeah,
than
it's
the
apples
other.
and
So
oranges.
it's like apples and potatoes or something.
The reason I wanted to keep asking the question to everybody is, I mean, for our listeners out there, I mean, what separates the towns? 10 miles?
5.
7 miles.
7,
So
is that what it is?
7 miles, and the rivalries are real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So real.
Everybody, like as an adult, everybody's, fighting for the same goal. But when, the high schools come involved, it's like 7 miles is like a separation, like nobody's business for the high school.
Super cool, man. It's
But-
super fun.
So what I love though about the Iron Range is that the way I've heard folks say it is that we're all siblings. All of our cities are siblings. And, we can make fun of each other and we can dislike each other, certain days. But if somebody from outside our family says something about
Yes.
somebody else, then we're throwing down.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I love about the Iron Range. It's this massive area. It's a huge area, but we're all in this little world together. And it's just, I have loved calling this place home. And I've been up here 23 years now.
Well, I'm going to echo that because Dino and I, was it last night or the night before? It was like, we had the same conversation. You can talk shit about whatever you want to talk shit about. When you talk shit about mining, that's us.
Oh man, good people, good country, good conversations, but it's not about that. We got to let her continue her story.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
So you bounced around a little bit. And
Bounced around a little bit. Childhood was a little chaotic, which was fine. My brother was the constant through all of it. So we're all good. But then I went to college at UMD, so University of Minnesota Duluth. So I didn't get too far from home, just 40 miles up the road. Just wasn't ready to make a big step out. And UMD has great science and engineering programs. So it seemed like a win. And Duluth is gorgeous. I mean, it's Lake Superior and it's wonderful. So I went to school there, got my bachelor's and then my master's through there. My master's is water resources science, but I did my master's thesis on 2 little lakes that are in the city of Virginia. So that's how I got my connection to the Iron Range.
The roots.
It's one of my professors, his ex-sister-in-law was the mayor. And they had a water quality issue and he wanted me to figure out what the issue was. So next thing I knew, fresh out of undergrad, I was living up on the range studying these lakes and wrapped that up. And then I went to teaching. So I taught at Mesabi Range Community College, total 6 years. But 1 year, or wasn't even a full year, it was 6 months to start with. Then I went to NTS, which is where I met Matt the first time.
Now,
did you know, did you know Matt before? I mean, you met him, but this is like in a work setting. Right?
So I met him in a work setting back in 2002, but we didn't get together until 2007. So
okay. So you had a 5-year gap of going, hey,
this
I love that guy, and he doesn't even know you.
No, he always says that he sort of liked me and I was stubborn and didn't see it. He was 3 years younger than me. And it was at a time in your life where 3 years matters. Yeah. And so I just,
or at least we thought it did.
We thought it did. And it just wasn't the right timing. He needed to, go down to the Twin Cities and work for a while. I needed to just figure my life out. And so it's almost like the universe puts blinders on you.
100%.
And you don't see that person because it's not the right time to see that person. And then when it is the right time, there it goes.
We had the same conversation a little bit earlier, and I told my wife, I just didn't grow up soon enough, right? We could have done this a couple of years ago, but I just wasn't mature enough. And I'm a knuckle dragger, man. At the end of the day, I had to be in the right position to land a special lady or to be in that position. And you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's what it sounds like from you guys. Is like, Matt, and no offense, but you might have been a little bit of a knuckle dragger, and
I was a knuckle dragger.
Yeah, and you had to be in a better position to meet a special lady, and then to appreciate it, right?
And same for me. I needed to appreciate it and go through not great relationships to understand what a great one would look like.
Yeah.
And
so when you came back, that's when you ran into Matt again.
So I left NTS and went to work at a soil and water conservation district. And then I went back to teaching full time. Then I went back to consulting. I call my 20s my workshop years.
Yeah.
Like
that's what they're supposed to be.
People are like, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? I'm like, you just try things.
Yeah.
And I tried different paths for where I wanted to spend my, environmental career and decided to go back into consulting. And it was just about the exact same time Matt got back to the Iron Range. And it's fate. And it's amazing how things like that work out. And
Yeah, you guys knew of each other, but you probably didn't know each other like you know each other. You know what I mean?
I mean, we worked on stuff sorted together. So I was in the water world more at NTS, and Matt was in construction materials testing. And so we worked in the same building, but we didn't work on similar projects. But then when I went back to NTS, we got put on similar projects. And I always get teased by my old boss because I always say the story of like, he had a really good work ethic. He's like, I can't believe that's what you chose. It's like, like you admired his work ethic. Like that's the
we all know Matt is a man of few words, but I would imagine once you guys started working together, there was some conversation. He probably made you laugh a ton.
He's quiet until he's not, but he is, he's very stoic and he's very solid and he's very kind. And there's and he's funny when I don't expect him to be. You see those videos on TikTok where they make fun of and they say, you should take a girl swimming before you date her to see what she, and I just think, you know, it's kind of true, but it's like if you really truly want to date someone and marry someone, you're going to see them at rough points.
Yes.
And, you know, I think about, so Matt was with me, obviously, for the last 18 years, we were together when I went through breast cancer and chemo and the surgeries. And so he has been there through what I'm hoping is the worst. Obviously at some point we'll be old, but it's like, he has been there through all of that, you know, where I was bald and I was sick and I was, you know, swelled, you know, moon face from the chemo. And, you know, he took care of my drains after surgeries. And it's like, you should go through some not attractive times before you get married to make sure that when you know, for better or for worse means for worse.
Yeah.
Like you will hit those tough times. And do you have what it takes to get through that?
We haven't known Matt for very long, but you can tell, I would say strength and consistency is what I get from Matt. Like you can see it, you know what I mean? And what you're saying right now is exactly that. Yeah.
He's amazing. And even he won't talk about how amazing he is or what he does for a living or
he doesn't have to. All he has to do is do it for you.
He married up. He married up.
I married up for sure.
He leveled up, bud.
I married up.
Yeah. Sponsoring this episode of the podcast, Liebherr Mining. When it comes to mining, you need equipment that works as hard as you do, day in and day out. That's why Mining Minds is proud to partner with our good friends, Liebherr Mining. For more than 50 years, Liebherr has been delivering a full line of mining solutions. Ultra-class haul trucks, powerful hydraulic excavators, dozers, and cutting-edge technology systems, all built to maximize productivity, lower operating costs, and keep your people safe. So whether it's moving massive volumes of material, tackling the toughest overburden, or integrating digital fleet management, Liebherr designs each machine with efficiency, durability, and sustainability in mind. That's Liebherr Mining. Click the links on the episode notes to find out more today. Well, sounds like you've had some challenges too, and you've had to overcome different things. And through this week, I've learned that, but I didn't know that you had breast cancer. I know that we had talked about different things and whatever else, but so you had to fight through that.
Yeah, in 2020.
Really?
So I was diagnosed January 2nd, 2020, and they told me I had to buy face masks because you're going to lose your immune system. And by the time I went to go get masks, they were already starting to be out. And so here, like, you need masks and they're in short supply. You don't have an immune system and people are saying stuff on Facebook like, that's the weak are going to die. And people are just blowing it off, right? Like only the weak are going to die. And you're like, thanks a lot. I'm going to be healthy again. And I will remember this.
Yes, absolutely.
And so I started chemo February 5th of 2020. And then March 17th, Minnesota shut down. So I had people could come with me for the first 3 chemo treatments. And then after that, I had to go alone because nobody else was allowed in the hospital. Oof. So he would sit in the truck and wait for me. And I don't know what you did all day.
Dude, he loves his vodka.
I went grocery shopping.
He did go grocery shopping.
And took care of business.
And
what else am I doing?
You know, because our hospital's a half hour away. So it was, trying to gauge that. So yeah, that was, and so I kept working through it. The company. So I was at Hibbing Taconite at the time, which is where Matt works. So I just want to point out, I went to Hibbing Taconite first. I was a minor before Matt was.
Hibtac.
And so I was there 13 years. So I was there for 2020 and my boss was amazing. And, basically said, work while you can. do what you can. My team that worked for me, Tasha and Paula, they were incredible. They would come out and we would set up 20 feet away from each other in the driveway and just use the Wi-Fi and have our little meetings so we could see each other. And so my coworkers were amazing. And my boss, he was right. He thought, if I stay working, stay engaged and stay active, it'll help me get through things. I'll have a distraction. So I stayed working through all of it. And Matt got laid off because of COVID, because the steel mill shut down. So then HibTax shut down, but I was the environmental manager. So my job didn't shut down.
Yeah. Yeah. So, if you guys are looking for job security, environmental is a great one. I'm just throwing it out there.
And it's an awesome. So, we talked a little bit about it this week, but my background's environmental, and I mining's not where I plan to go. This is not, I plan to stop mining, I
want to walk through that.
Not encourage it.
Let's walk through that. So maybe replay that statement you just said, because Grover and I were too busy interrupting each other.
Yeah.
But walk through that statement.
Of wanting to stop mining, and now I promote it for
correct. Yeah.
Well, I didn't know mining. I didn't grow up around mining, and environmental has always been my passion. I grew up with Ranger Rick, and give a hoot, don't pollute. I have a sticker actually over there that says it. But I just grew up I grew up living in the country, and environmental's just always been a passion of mine to protect the environment. Growing up, acid rain was a big thing. The ozone layer was a big thing. The rainforests were a big thing. And so you start following organizations that are, you think, working to fix things. And usually those organizations are also fighting mining. And so if you don't live around mining, you don't understand mining. And so it gets in your head that mining's bad. And I don't remember anyone ever telling me that my world was built for mining. And it's weird to think about in hindsight, because my dad worked in the timber industry. So I knew trees were important. And then my dad owned a meat processing plant. He bounced jobs around too a lot. He owned a meat processing plant, so I knew where meat came from, and we had a farm, so I knew where my milk came from. But somehow minerals never clicked. And like I mentioned, I worked on my master's degree up in Virginia, and that was my first exposure to mining. And all I thought it was just holes in the ground and big stockpiles. Because even still living up here, nobody was explaining to me what steel is, and it took years. Talia and I were trying to sort it out the other day of when I finally started to support mining. And it wasn't until 2007. So I had already lived up here 5 years, and I was working for NTS as a consultant, and it was working for them as a consultant for the projects and for the mining companies, where I was like, okay, wait, what I'm doing every day is not lining up with the emails I'm getting from the organizations trying to stop this. Like, my real lived life at the mines isn't what I'm hearing is supposed to be what's happening.
There's a couple red flags.
You're calling bullshit in your mind. You're going,
because I'm like, and at some point it became personal.
Sure.
Because I'm like, well, that's not what I'm doing every day, or that's not how I see the company doing stuff. And I still really struggled, right? So like, my default setting is to be kind of anti-corporation. My default setting is to just be not pro mining. But working for a consulting firm and getting to know those people, I was like, but I struggled. I went to a wetland restoration class, and I asked the instructor, I'm like, I don't know what to do. I said, I'm working for mining companies, helping them destroy wetlands. This isn't what I went to school for. And he's like, if not you, who? Like, who's going to work for those mining companies if it's not someone like you? And I was like, I still don't know. And then I went to an environmental organization, had a public meeting about Polymet at the time. And I was doing work for them as a consultant. And everything I heard from the audience and from other speakers was so negative. And I'm like, you're lying. And that's what finally shoved me over the edge, was going to a public hearing. And I stood up and spoke, and my voice was shaky, and I sounded like I was going to cry. And I just remember being red-faced and so scared to tell people that they were lying. But that's what finally pushed me over, was that.
How was that message received?
Well, the pro mining people were like, woohoo, and clapping. And then other people were really mad at me. And that was hard, because I don't like people not liking me. I'm a people pleaser I believe it or not, Matt. And, but I just remember I was so mad and I was like, I have to speak up because lies are being told and I'm not okay with that. As a scientist, I'm not okay with lies. And
yeah, well, if the facts were there that were supporting one side or the other, it doesn't matter to you, but the facts that you were looking at, it was like, why are we stopping this?
yeah, and that's exactly it. And I knew that the company was doing the right thing. And to hear, people throwing shade on these humans that I spent every day with, who I saw investing money and investing time and investing energy and doing the EIS properly, and to hear people who weren't at that table with us saying things about them that I knew weren't true was just such a gut punch. And that's
went against your morals and ethics.
It went completely, and it was just, yeah, it wasn't fair. It wasn't honest.
But I think the important thing in there is there were some red flags that popped up. And instead of ignoring those and kind of powering through and just doing what you would continue to do, you said, I'm going to kind of dive into this. I'm going to reflect on how this feels towards me. And that kind of changed your paradigm shift is what I should say.
Yeah. And it took time, and when I was teaching at the college, so I stayed teaching adjunct. I had just 2 jobs pretty much all of my 20s. I kept teaching in the evenings or teaching during the day. When I worked for NTS, they were awesome. They would let me run to the college and teach classes. But I taught environmental science and I had former miners in my class, and they'd pull me aside after class and be like, Miss Kay, we need to talk. What you're saying about mining is not true. And actually one of those became my state representative at some point, which was kind of a funny little moment where I was like, my state rep is my former student. But he was always, what I appreciated about Rangers were they wouldn't tell me, hey, you're stupid for not supporting mining. It was like, do you know mining? And they would talk to me about my fears and talk to me about my concerns in just a gentle way. And so it took time because I'm really stubborn. Matt just nodded. But eventually I was like, okay, mining's needed. Minerals aren't everywhere. We can do it well or we can do it poorly. And I just want to be a part of that.
Yeah. And I'd just like to say that not everybody's doing it good.
No.
Not everybody is. And I'm high on America. So don't get me wrong. I'm biased in that aspect. I think we do a lot of good things here in the States. But specifically, if we're talking to the States, Minnesota's doing things really well from an education standpoint, from, a knowledge standpoint, from, hey, I give a shit standpoint. I'm not trying to.
That's a technical term.
Yeah.
I would say just from an involvement standpoint,
100%
with every employee.
Yeah. And so I guess at some level, you had the choice to go, I can sit here on the sidelines and complain about it, or I can get involved and actually do something about it. And you chose to get involved and do something about it.
I chose to get involved and do something about it because I'm a control freak. I didn't want
it's control freak.
Well, I wanted to be
stubborn.
able to, I wanted to have that influence, and not just that, but so, we've talked about it a little bit. My skill set is completely white collar. Like you've seen how I park trucks, and Talia's looking at
Talia.
So
I need to search my truck after you drove it.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm a very good driver. But what I love about mining is that you get to work. It's just, I get really homesick actually. So I love my current job, but I get homesick for the mine because I get homesick for the people, because you just get to work in this place that's operating 24/7 and it's creating something, and the people are real and conversations are raw, and it's all about timing on things. Like things need to get done. And it's just the variety of people you get to work with. And the fact that you can live and work in northeastern Minnesota and be connected to a global market. And I just find that amazing that I get to have conversations with people all across the globe because I have this connection with mining, but I live in a little town of 600 people.
What you realize is your impact is greater than just your community.
Yeah, I would say, I think you found, whether you know it or not, you found yourself working for the greater good within inside of yourself, which is pretty amazing. A lot of people search a lot of years to find that. And it took Matt to settle you down and tell you what to do that first day to where it rooted you in a little bit deeper to where it's like now, even though you want to be back at site, the site people need you doing what you're doing to continue to advocate to make sure that this place stays running the way it is.
That's what he's told me. But I do miss it, but I would never trade that experience for anything. And it's, I got to make a big impact at Hibbing Taconite. I got to coach 729 coworkers about why we have environmental regulations. I got to make our systems better. We got ISO 14001 certified when I was there. We went through a lot of improvement projects, and I get to feel like I had made a tangible impact on the environment through that job. And I wouldn't want this job now without having had that experience, because when I say we can do things well, it's coming from a place of having made things better and having that understanding. And a lot of it comes from just the love I have for the people up here who are just trying to make a living, trying to create, and then trying to go fishing after work.
Well, I think with everything except for that last part of the statement, because we all don't get a fish. I mean, that's the industry as a whole, right? I mean, there are people like you out there in every region.
Yep.
Your guys hits a little bit different because of where you live and the history, and the passion that's up here. But
I'll say this, man. You and Talia, you can feel the passion that you guys have. I've told you this probably off air, but the bullshit meter for Dino and I is pretty high, right? And we're like,
we're bullshitters. That's why, bud.
Yeah. A bullshitter can tell a bullshitter, right? And you really sit back and go like, no, man, these guys are good freaking people, man. And how cool is this to have those people behind what's driving the next step in this? That you can't be more powerful than that.
I agree. I mean, when you're here for a couple of days and one of the ladies that are taking you around calls you short at the last dinner.
But for the record, that was not me.
No.
I am the tallest one at this table right now. I just want to point that out. If I have shoes on, Matt, I'm taller than you. He's such a good sport.
So I got to ask, when did you get in and how did you get into mining Minnesota?
So sadly, I didn't want this job because before this job, I was at Twin Metals. And so I was at Twin Metals for 360 days, just almost made it a full year. I was a director of water resources there. And so I didn't think anything could ever pull me away from Hibbing Taconite. I truly did love that place. But Twin Metals had a position for water resources, and it's what I went to school for. It's what I care deeply about. And I wanted to be a part of that project. It's there's a lot of attention paid to that project. There's a lot of concern about that project. And I thought, I also share that concern. I could lead the team that works on it. And so I went there and had super fast-paced year. And then we lost our leases. And the environmental review came to a stop, which means my job came to a stop. And so I took some time. I decided to kind of take a sabbatical. Like I mentioned, I worked all through chemo. And, I've just always had a job. And I thought, I'm just going to breathe for a little bit and really think about, do I want to stay in mining? It was devastating to lose, that project through that process was absolutely devastating. And I was just kind of numb for about a month. And my predecessor in this role was retiring, and they were looking for someone, and the job announcement had nothing I had done for a living. It was government relations, public affairs. I'm like, nope, I have none of this. But a couple of the board members were like, hey, you should apply for this. I'm like, you've seen the job announcement you wrote, right? I don't qualify. And they're like, they just kind of scolded me. And I was like, no, I'm on sabbatical. I need to who knows if I'll even stay in mining. And they just kind of kept talking to me. You sure you don't want to apply for this? And so I was like, okay, fine, I'll interview. But I'm going to be 100% me in this interview. And we're going to see how this goes. So I was 100% me in the interview, and they made me an offer the next day.
Wow. Isn't it funny how the world has a way of putting you in positions you never thought you'd be in? Yeah.
And now it's 3 years. Talia's been on our team for a year and a half, and it is, just feel like this is just, I'm a teacher. Like I'm an educator. That's I always wanted to be a teacher, and now I get to be a teacher in just a different way.
But if you step back and look at where your journey began, it was kind of fighting these things that you thought.
Absolutely. Sending letters, calling Congress people.
But now you're doing the same thing. It's just going, I understand the game a little bit more. I understand what's actually happening. And I can actually speak to facts. And so you get to do that with real information.
Yep.
And I don't know, man, there's something to be said for how the world works. And I don't know. Maybe I'm weird in that way that I just look at things and I'm like, people are in positions that they should be in. And it's not maybe a forever thing, but it's a for right now thing. And it's what we need right now. And you're a person that we need right now. So I think that's super cool.
Oh, I appreciate that. I hope my board of directors hears that. No, our board is fantastic. I get to work. There's times where I have to stop and think, I cannot believe I'm in this position where I do get to work with the people I get to work with. You've met some of my board members this week. I get to work with amazing people. And it's just hard to believe sometimes.
I'm going to tell you right now, you and Talia are studs. Like you guys are killing it. Like, so the stuff I see, and this is also what I'll note about the Iron Range is you guys have an idea, you'll try it. You guys have something that you think about and you're going to, we'll give it a shot, which is super refreshing because in the world of mining, when you continue to beat your head against the wall and never see progress, you guys are actually doing something that, we're going to give it hell. And if it fails, cool. But at least we tried it.
Failure is a data point.
I will say
failure is just a data point.
That.
One of the coolest things that I've seen all week, and I know we've talked about it multiple times on the podcast, is the signage idea that you guys have. Basically, this is made by mining.
Yeah. The IRRR signs saying, these projects happen because of mining, and you see it. You can go to a play or a concert and they'll say this has been sponsored by the IRRR Culture and Tourism, which comes from taconite tax money. Well, and so it's just always reminding people.
The IRRR, I mean, they might have started it all, but I mean, you guys are, I guess
it's a coalition. It's from a whole front.
From a fault, though, I guess I group you all three of you groups together. But it's just a solid message for the mining industry that they can take in their regions to go, let's highlight this a little bit.
Yep.
You know what I mean? To where little things like that are impactful.
Well, and I think that the other thing is, and this is where maybe other regions can learn, is that you do have different groups doing different stuff.
Yeah.
But you guys all come together on different things to be successful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, where it makes sense to partner, it makes sense to partner.
Yeah, and I think so. Actually, Aaron Witt mentioned this in his podcast. Is like the airlines have almost an association. And we don't, as a mining community, we don't. We all have kind of these.
You have the National Mining Association, right? But not all the advocacy groups fit in, or it's not. It's
not as strong. We don't have a good.
It's not a priority, right? Everybody's focused on their. You know what I mean? So it's going to take a little bit of work to get everybody more on the national level to where we're starting to share messages like this, across the states, because like I Am Mining that came out of Arizona, that is something huge. The signage that we're seeing up here, all these little things, you start pulling them all together and we're filtering them down into these different mining regions to help educate the public that, hey, these guys are doing what's needed for mining is essential to everyday life, right? To where I think that's going to be part of the messaging and part of the strategy to get there is ladies like you that are going to, take some of these ideas and run with them, because that's truly what's going to change the industry. Because if we can do that, we educate it, the lawmakers aren't going to have they're not going to have a leg to stand on when it comes time to approve or not approve or make us continue to jump through loopholes to get a permit. It's like, the guys like Matt or myself or Grover, we just know that these groups are making that impact to keep us doing what we do.
There's a lot of amazing groups. AEMA, when they came out with their I Am Mining, just really humanizing us. And then you have all of the different state mining associations, Women's Mining Coalition. There's just all these different groups the more we work together, the broader our networks will be, and getting over things like, well, that's a different state. Or that's a different 100%. That's a different industry. That's, that's copper, that's gold. We're all mining. Mm-hmm. We're all
We
in
have
this
similar
together.
challenges.
We have similar challenges. We may have red and blue states, but we still are going to have people who are opposed to projects. We still have a need to educate. What information can we share amongst each other? What can we do together? We're not competing with each other within the U.S. We're competing with a whole just different folks. And so we need to work together.
Absolutely.
Well, I would say if you're American, right? This is 100% American. Like we need to start having each other's backs and let's start having the
when
conversation.
you have a full region that has a week-long vacation for 4th of July.
Let's talk about that because we got Cinco de
that's
Mayo,
pretty-
but I'm not
that's
sure
pretty
it's the same thing.
That's America.
We are, I'm sure you saw when we went to Chisholm last night, they also had flags lining Main
Yeah.
Street. When you came in here, you probably saw
It
the
looked like
flags.
the UN in Chisholm. I was like,
Yes.
we
So
actually took a
it's the
picture
bridge
of the Nevada flag because we were like, dude, this is cool. There's our flag.
The Bridge of Peace. Yes. In Chisholm there. That is the Bridge of Peace.
No, but they had all the American flags down Main Street.
And they had that set up too.
Does Hibbing have that?
Hibbing has the double flags down Howard.
They've got twice as many
Virginia
flags.
probably
bro.
had flags.
Just so you know.
We have a lot of veterans memorials. But the 4th of July, yes, it is a week-long holiday here, which will slightly drive Matt crazy because he's on the fire department and there's a risk of fireworks starting.
You never got into that.
Yeah. Do you ever throw on the fire suit and just be like, Julie,
Hey, wash it.
time to
I've
put out
threatened
that
to do
fire?
it. I've threatened to do it.
Outside washing
my
his
gosh.
red single cab Chevy, just like no shirt on,
Oh
just
my
his muck
gosh.
boots and his
Little whale tail going on.
Hey,
Oh my
I'm
God.
smelling anniversary gift here.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's coming up next week.
4th of July next Friday, but it's a big deal up here. People are what's cool about the Iron Range is people have that dual identity is like, yes, we're Americans, but there's so much pride in where people came from.
Oh, yeah.
There's just that, there's the 43 different nationalities that came up here to work in the mines and people know what nationality they are. There's different food up here. When I moved up here and there was, porchetta and patizza and pasties and just all of these, things from their home regions. And a lot of people still speak the language, bits of the language, it's swear words, bits of the language from where their families came from. And so there's just this dual, like, yes, we're proud to be American, but we're super proud to be Slovakian or Croatian like Matt is, or Italian or down the line.
You're Croatian?
I'm a little bit of everything, but yes, Croatian.
All right.
Yeah,
I thought you.
same dude. I'm a mutt.
I was hoping for some carne asada, bro. I thought we were on a different level together.
So he has his nice,
Well,
the Croatia's on the Mediterranean. So he has the Croatian, the olive skin that, is so much darker than his wife's white,
Hey, opposites attract.
white
Yeah.
Irish skin here.
Yin and yang.
Hey,
Yeah.
and you know what I tell my daughters? If you're brown, you get down. It's the way it is, huh, bro? It's the way it is.
Well, I gotta ask this.
Okay.
Dino,
know
I'm
you
always
guys have
asking
such a
your
limited-
questions, man.
Why? Go ahead.
So, what does the future mining look like? What does the future a future miner look like?
Future miner looks like? I think we're going to see it's a lot of the jobs are going to go to where I do think the technology will advance where you're potentially going to get more people with my skill sets who can also run equipment. And so I think
Oh, we're gonna get more attitude.
more attitude. I hope so much attitude. I think, we're seeing more women entering the workforce, which is good because we're having a gray tsunami. We're losing workforce. We need to bring in all the people we can't be selective.
Did you just say gray tsunami?
Yeah. Haven't you heard this term?
I have not.
So SME, Society of Mining, Metallurgy, and Exploration, talks a lot about that. The gray tsunami, we're losing
Yeah, we're
this
gonna
generation.
Yeah, I got it, but I was like,
And-
man, could we call
So
it like
200,000
blue hairs or? Yeah.
Q-tips. I hear people call it Q-tips. I think we're going to, I hope, see more people brought into this industry who we may not have considered 20 years ago. And, just broadening out who fits in here. But I think they're going to be people that are tech savvy. We have to kill this pickaxe and shovel thing.
Yeah.
Like I want it out of logos. I want it out of conversations. You work at a mine for even a few days and you see just how technologically advanced we are. we're not using pickaxes and shovels. The shovels we have they're machines. Like they are so incredible,
Mechanical.
right? Just the fact we have these block models and we have dispatchers sitting wherever they're sitting, and they can see exactly where those trucks are. They can see exactly where the graders and dozers and everything, they know exactly what is in the ore that shovel's digging. Like I worked when I was at HibTech, we were a 3 shovel blend. You had to have that perfect mix of everything coming into the crusher to be able to make quality. And there's just all of those things that people think were just like rock turn into dust become, and it's like, no, you have to have the perfect quality coming in and you have to have the perfect quality going out. And so I think we're going to get more and more people who appreciate that and who can work within that. And so I think we're going to get a more diverse workforce just because we're opening the doors to, it's not just about blunt force. You have to be smart. You have to be, skilled. And I just think the future miner is just somebody who is multifaceted and multi-talented. And
I would agree with that because not only as technology advances and we start opening the door for visibility into the industry, we're going to start we're going to start to create curiosity, and curiosity is going to start bringing those people that might live here for 4 months out of the year.
Yep.
They might be the next guy that goes, hey, I want to get a job. Matt told me that he could hook me up, to where it's like, that's how they're going to start to fold in. And then they're going to learn the culture behind it to go, hey man, sorry for being a shitbird for the last 6 years because I didn't understand, but that's what it's going to take.
Right.
I also think I think with the rise in AI and not the AI in the good ways it can be used, but just in that artificial way that people aren't writing their own stuff anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Photographs are faked, I think there's going to be, people are going to start to really crave real
authenticity.
And one of those things that's authentic is when you work at a mine, you are creating a real tangible product that becomes something that
the world needs,
and that I loved watching the trains roll out with, every 18 hours at HibTech, trains would roll out and you're like, those pellets become something. We're not just doing stuff for giggles. It actually is a tangible, real thing. And I think people are going to start to hunger for that. I think people are going to want to be a part of something that is really actually needed versus just, what do you do all day? I push papers. Well, I mean,
somebody needs to make a movie called Day Without a Miner.
I know we say that.
We have to.
So I'm going to say this because this was brought up in a previous podcast and I don't think it's aired yet. It will by the time this comes out, but the next generation, the next 10 years will be running our industry, whether we like it or not. And so we have to understand what their needs are, what their purpose is, what their, that next generation is here. And so what is our plan to essentially work with them, right?
They want a purpose, and mining is a job where you have a purpose.
Yep.
And I wish we would do a better job of teaching our miners who are already at the mines that they are part of that bigger thing.
Well, I think you guys are. I think you guys are absolutely doing that.
We're going to go through some struggles though, because a lot of companies right now that might not be in the same situation you guys are with your labor force because of the unions, but you get outside of the unions and we've got, I want to say we're sending the wrong message because we're just force feeding these kids money and places to live. And we're trying to get them to come in to where it's an unrealistic expectation that we're setting for them for their career.
So the only reason I will argue against that is because we've had the panel discussion and we've had a younger individual say, give me as much money as I can right now. So if money is a motivator right now, and then Victor in the same podcast said, money was a huge motivator at the beginning of my career. Now volunteer work and things. So I think we have to look at that holistically and go, if money can get them in the door, how do we then add volunteer work and pay people and do different things to keep them satisfied, so to speak? I don't know.
You have to make a living, and mining is I look at, we started off in our single wide trailer, and this is the home that mining built.
Yeah, it's a badass house, by the way.
It is.
Thank you.
I wish you guys could see this. Well, no, you can't see all of it.
I want this table.
This is the table my husband and his father built.
Yeah, this table
and that
badass.
was first built by folks at the Deer Shack, and then we took pieces from it and created our new table. But
cool.
It's, money is one thing, but on those really bad days at work, do you want it to be like, okay, I'm doing this for a paycheck or I'm doing this for a purpose?
Yeah.
And on really bad days, paychecks, I don't know if they're enough to get you through with a smile, but if there's a purpose.
Well, purpose actually gives you the
purpose. Just kidding.
It gives you the opportunity to want the paycheck. Though.
Yeah, 100%.
It gives you the resilience because you're
resilience.
It's mining. You have moving equipment. You have crazy weather conditions. It's not always easy because like I said, there's moving equipment and you're going to have bad days. And what gets you through those bad days are the bigger reasons you're there. And that's what gives
like Matt.
It will include the people. I was just going to say the same thing.
It's the people. I loved working at HibTech and fighting for permits for my 729 coworkers. Yeah. And now in this job, we're fighting for a future workforce that like they're kids right now.
Yeah.
Like we are fighting for the next generation. And there are days where Talia and I are like, oh my God, doing this for the next generation. Like we're doing this for the future of the range. It's those.
Yeah. The work that you're doing, you might not see the rewards because it could be generations from now.
Yeah.
That's such a cool thing to think about.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's going to teach you patience, right? Because it's not instant gratification.
No.
But if you know that you're continuing and you're going to be handing down to the next person that's going to take what you got and build on it, it's saying the same exact thing that the Iron Ranges spoke to me all week.
And your morals and your ethics and your beliefs are all aligned. Man, what's better?
Yep.
Nothing. Honestly. It's love of the region. It's love of what we've done. It's love of the people. That's what gets us through our bad days. That and a lot of memes, but
amen to that. Yeah, and some TikToks. I mean, that's not MySpace. I'm just throwing it out there. All right, before we get out of here, Dean.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's getting late.
No, we're good.
No, I just want to say thank you guys again. I know we've probably said it over and over to where it might seem like it's not genuine, but it is extremely genuine for you guys to bring us into your families, bring us into your region, and just let us do what we do and visit with the people. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you guys. It's been a really awesome week.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Matt.
Thank you for having us, man, and the support. So I will say this on the back end, my wife and I support each other similar to what you guys do. The reason I'm able to be up here right now, right, is because she's doing what she's doing, and it sucks because you're away, she's away, or you know what I mean. Things happen, but I appreciate that part of it too, because there's the other end that people don't see, and that's somebody like Matt sitting there going, well, fuck, I guess I'll eat dinner by myself again tonight.
Hey, you know what he's really trying to ask is, do you have an extra pair of coveralls he can take home and he can wash his truck?
And I know Talia,
I can find him a set.
Okay, cool.
I know Talia sat in on a podcast, but she's super quiet, and I'm going to give her some shit. But Talia, thank you very much too. I know she's shaking her head, going, "You asshole."
Once we get back, I think it's going to be important for all three of the ladies to join us on a Zoom podcast where we can all kind of dissect and do our debrief.
Yeah,
I think that's something that I learned from you guys this week. Is like, you know, you do something big like this, that it's important to go back and maybe discuss, you know, good, bads, and maybe some different opportunities that might be ahead of us.
Absolutely. Julie, anything before we get out of here? Did we miss anything? Do you want to talk about anything? A phenomenal week.
This has been such a fun week. I'm going to be sad to not see you guys too. I have to keep in mind, like, they don't live here, and I'm really sad.
You guys
about
can come
that.
out our way next time.
I think we'll have to. Well, apparently Matt's going elk hunting.
I was going to say, you need to clean off a spot on the wall so we can hang that.
Absolutely, man.
Absolutely. No,
we know
thank you.
some people that know some people.
Well, I will tell you this: if there's the potential for NVMA in September, go with her.
Great time.
Honestly, because that's the time that the elk are bugling. To where if she's in Tahoe, we go to the other side of the state.
Send her to work and I go have fun.
Yeah,
100%.
extend it a little bit.
Go do a little hunting while you work. That sounds like a plan.
That sounds about right. No, we just, Kristen's, not here, but Talia and I know Kristen. Thank you guys. I know you're going to be super tired tomorrow when you hop on that flight. You've had a really long week. You've been troopers. It can be scary sometimes to welcome people into your home, both literally and like my bigger, broader Iron Range home, because you don't know how people will respond. And you guys have treated our people with respect, and you've fit right in. And we are super grateful. So Thank you. And thank you for being super tired tonight and still doing this. I hope to stay in touch with you guys. So.
Oh, we will. We absolutely will. But I'm going to give Bob shit. This Bush Light Peach is not good, man. Yeah. All right, guys, you can check us out. MoneyMindsLLC.com, Facebook, Instagram, X. Adios.
Peace.
Thanks for listening into this episode of the podcast, guys. What a good episode. Dean, what do you think, man?
Salt of the earth, man. These guys, Julie and Matt, man, they extended a full week for us. And I loop Matt into that because Julie was with us all week. And it takes a special person to be able to stand behind your significant other with people that you don't know personally.
Sure.
And Julie, that was the first solid time that we got to spend with them, and for them to invite us into their house, introduce us to pretty much all their friends, and make us feel like a ranger, man, was amazing. And to sit at their table, I didn't like when we started putting our stuff together. I was like, I don't want to put our microphone stands on this table. I mean, first of all, it was too thick, but second of all, it was like that was a table that Matt made. But for people to invite you into their home like that, I truly want them to know that we're grateful to be a part of that with them. I mean, they started calling us their cousins, by the time we left, but their podcast, I mean,
Cousin Eddie.
Oh yeah. Their podcast, what I got, one cool thing that I took away is your life path. It gets you to a spot to where you meet the person that you're supposed to be with.
Yeah.
And it gets you into the places that you're supposed to be. And that's what you and I are so fortunate to be able to do this with people in the mining industry. But to hear Julie's story and understand how much she liked Matt before, working with Matt's dad to where they're at now is just super cool story. And then to understand where she was before mining and now 180 degrees, man. And she's a super awesome lady.
You took away everything I was going to say.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I couldn't agree more, man. I did enjoy walking through both their paths. I think that looking at them and knowing them now, it's like a true relationship. Those guys support each other. I know Julie had some medical stuff that happened and Matt stepped up. And then the other thing that I gathered is they give a shit. I mean, Matt's got his Fishing with Vets, so check that out. But just people that care, man. And like you said, the path that you think that you're going to be on versus the path that you end up in, super cool to hear all that, man. Super blessed to have had that opportunity and to call these guys our friends. I couldn't thank them enough. We've thanked them on the podcast, but I appreciate going up there. It opened my eyes to a whole different part of mining.
Absolutely, man. I mean, I've been thinking about the title of the podcast, and I want to call it Resilience because not only with Julie and the issues that, the troubles that she's had in her life, their relationship, and the position she's in at work, man. I mean, every ranger that we talked about up there they're resilient people, and to encompass the full week at their table and listen to her story, it just screams resilience to me. It had a great time, man. I can't wait to go back. Hopefully they'll have us back.
I'm hoping they get out this way.
Me too.
I'd like to return the favor. But thank you guys again. We hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Please brass in, swipe right. Let us know what you think. Comment. That always helps us out. If you're out there pounding roads, driving drifts, or pushing throughput, stay safe.
I'm never taking days off. No one used to know me, now I'm on your radar. Pedal to the metal, I know it's gonna pay off. I suggest you get on board before I take off. I be going up, getting so high. Looking at the cream of the crop, watch the way I rise. Casual, everything around me, it's the way of life. Smile up on my face when you see me, I'm feeling fine. Life is but a dream, baby, now it really seemed crazy. Who would've thought we could make it happen? Not a dream payment, stay up on my grind, I keep it going, do my thing daily. Rocking merchandise that all these companies gave me. Feeling blessed, so blessed. Gotta thank the Lord above. Gotta thank all of the angels who just blanket me with love. Gotta thank all the familia sticking with me through the mud. When I was really low, all your support, it picked me up. It's a cold world, but we gotta smile through all the pain. Through the droughts and the rain, rolling on the all-terrains. Make it through them dark nights, you get to the brighter days. I've been driving all my life, just look at all the ground I've gained.
Engine been idling, push on the gas. Holding the hourglass in my hands. You can do anything you wanna do. Tell me why wouldn't you? I got vision. visions really ain't far-sighted. I know most of them can't feel my shine. In my mind, I've been in it for life, and when they see me, they just might go blind.
Yo, I push forward like a bulldozer. You can't swing me from my path, I ain't no pushover. Don't believe that I'm a winner, better look closer. Doors that used to be closed, now I pull open. Baby, I'm a winner. From spring, summer, fall to the winter. Working under pressure, Kobe clutch, I'm a killer. Watch me knock it out just like the Thriller in Manila. I double L the ill one, nobody iller. Independent, living life, and I live and learn. Ain't no quitter, I'm a fighter, and I get to work. I've been blazing my own trail that never been traversed. I've been learning from my failures, now I'm better versed. I just drive like I never did before. Keep that drive alive and put that pedal to the floor. I just drive till the wheels fall off, and keep that drive alive. Make sure the engine don't stall.
Engine been idling, push on the gas, holding the hourglass in my hands. You can do anything you wanna do. Tell me why wouldn't you? I got visions really ain't far-sighted. I know most of them can't feel my shine. In my mind, I've been in it for life, and when they see me, they just might go blind.
Ain't a damn thing falling on your lap. No, you gotta strategize, execute, and attack. Keep it moving every day. Push forward, never backwards. If you let that fear when you're headed for disaster. If it ain't about a dream, then it ain't about me. All my dreamers keep pushing through the pain, keep striving. On the road, keep that pedal to the metal driving. They say it's about the journey, not where you're arriving. All gas, no brakes. Attack your fears and go grab your fate. Nothing ever came easy for those we consider great. No matter where you're at in life, just know it's not too late. Never need a chauffeur. Grab the wheel and take control of your life and keep feeding that fuel into the motor. Formulate a plan, navigate, keep moving forward. It's a never-ending journey. Keep driving and moving onward.
Engine been idling, push on the gas, holding the hourglass in my hands. You can do anything you wanna do. Tell me why wouldn't you? I got visions really ain't far-sighted. I know most of them can't feel my shine. In my mind, I've been in it for life, and when they see me, they just might go blind. Engine been idling, push on the gas, holding the hourglass in my hands. You can do anything you wanna do. Tell me why wouldn't you? I got visions really ain't far-sighted. I know most of them can't feel my shine. In my mind, I've been in it for life, and when they see me, they just might go blind.